as the interviews of NCBS are around the corner, so we decided to make a video to help the prospective scholars. I'll ask a few questions from Nivedita and I hope you find it useful. So Nivedita, how has your experience been so far at NCBS?
Well, I'm part of the GS 2020 batch. So our batch arrived on campus in early January this year only. So I've been here for just about a little more than 4 months. So I've had very little experience, but even from that, my experience here has been really great. To begin with, the campus is really pretty, and so even if you like go out for a walk in the evening, it cheers you up. Um, then the faculty members here are super cool, and it's always a pleasure to interact with them. I'm enjoying coursework here as well, and then we have been accommodated in the new hostel, and the rooms here are good. We get individual rooms with attached baths and balconies, so our staying is pretty comfortable. Food here is also good. Fortunately, we have a number of good canteens, and we get decent food at cheap prices also. So we don't have that extra hassle of cooking for ourselves. We can just buy food, and that's good enough. And of course, last but not the least, I've made good friends here, one of whom is sitting right beside me. So that part is also great. So yeah, my experience has been pretty good so far.
So how do you think COVID has changed the life of graduate students at NCBS?
Uh, so COVID has pretty much affected everyone's life. So graduate students are no exceptions. But I would say it's much better than what the rest of the country and probably the rest of the world has been experiencing since over a year now. Fortunately, within the campus, we have a very robust system of keeping these things under control. So there are QR codes at various places within the campus, and we are required to scan that using a special app on our phones, and that keeps track of where each individual has been. And so whenever there is somebody testing positive, all of them are tracked. Like whoever has been with that person in the same location at the same time is contacted, and they're told that you are a primary, secondary, or tertiary contact, and you have to isolate yourself. So, and we also have sector systems. So the campus is divided into a number of sectors, and people are advised to not move in between sectors much. So that does restrict your freedom, but I don't think it's much of a sacrifice compared to what could have been had we not followed these systems. There is also regular testing within the campus. So every individual in the campus has to get tested at least once per month. And as of now, there are testings are being carried out twice per week within the campus. So all of those measures are at play, and I think, and also the data suggests that all of this has been really helpful in keeping the COVID cases under control within the campus. And everyone individually has that responsibility and takes that responsibility, so it also makes us feel much safer than if we were outside on the streets. So within the campus, we do feel safe. So the little things that we have had to give up, like we have to take all courses online, and for those who can afford to work from home, have to work from home, they cannot visit campus. So these are little sacrifices which I don't think anyone minds, because we are all dealing with a much larger danger, and it's necessary to keep these things under control.
And could you elaborate on the process of getting into the institute?
Yeah, so the process of getting into the institute is basically fourfold. So the first step is you have to clear a competitive national level exam, which which is the GS exam for NCBSTI for
JG Will.
JG Wills, yeah. So you have to give that. Once you qualify that and are shortlisted, you have to submit applications in which you fill your personal details, as well as you have to write an SOP, which is basically a project proposal, which you can make up, and it can be from any subject, any discipline. Once that gets shortlisted, you have to qualify 2 rounds of interview. So for me, I personally did not give the JG Wills exam, and so for people who have qualified other national level exams like GATE or NET and are in the top 10 percentile, can also directly submit their applications, and they can then go through the last 3 steps, and they can bypass the first step. So I did that, and I submitted my application, and then I qualified 2 rounds of interviews, and the interviews were so I'll tell you the more or less the pattern of the interviews. So the first interview is a shorter one. It's around half an hour, and the second round of interview is around 1 hour. So for me, at least from my personal experience, the first round was a more general round, and they were asking general questions based on my interest. And the second round was a more detailed interview, where my SOP was like the main focus, and so they asked me all questions about the things that I had suggested in my SOP, the experiments that I had designed and all, and that was the main focus, and that was a long one. So yeah, it's just these 4 simple steps.
And why did you choose NCBS over other institutes?
So my primary reason was actually the fact that you get a variety of kinds of research that goes on in the campus. So it's not like there is a special, like there's a niche of research going on in the campus. There are experts and PIs from different arenas. For example, there are a whole bunch of people working in neuroscience. Then there are other people working in cell and molecular biology. There are people in ecology and evolution. There are people in biomechanics. There are theory people. So there's a huge variety, and for somebody like me who didn't have a clear idea of what I wanted to do my PhD in, this really helped because I could explore a lot of options because before I can zero in on what I really want to do for my PhD. And here we also have the option of rotating. So all students that come in through these 4-step process that I just explained, they have to rotate in various labs before they begin their PhD. For integrated PhD students, they get the option to rotate in 3 labs, and for PhD students, they get the option to rotate in 2 labs. So you can shortlist a few labs that you think you would like, and then actually go in there and work for some time and get the experience yourself, first-hand experience, and then decide if you are fit for the lab. And at the same time, the PI can also see if you are suited for their lab as well. So I think these are my basic reasons that I preferred NCBS.
What are the other extra co-curricular activities on the campus?
There are lots of activities on campus. We have a tennis court, we have a badminton court, we also have a swimming pool, which unfortunately has been inactive. In fact, everything has been inactive currently because we do not want people to be mixing in close proximity without masks and all. So sports activities are currently stalled, but they will resume when the situation is under control. We also have a foosball table, and we also have a gym, and I'm sure we also have other things which I am not familiar with right now. And apart from that, there are also cultural activities. There are theatre clubs, dance clubs, music clubs. And the best thing about this is that here you have the freedom to actually take initiative and build your own clubs as well. So if you are particularly passionate about any extracurricular activity, you can just go ahead, gather some people, make a club, say a book club. I think a book club is also there. So there are a lot of clubs, and you can actually also start clubs here. So you get that freedom. And
I think we covered most of the points. If you have any more questions, you can put that in the comment box below. Thank you for watching. Bye.
bye bye.